Boston is a city on the move, and so are its schools. Welcome to the 2021 School on the Move Prize Ceremony. We're glad you're here to celebrate with us. Whether you're joining us in person or virtually, we are thrilled you're able to take part. For the 16th year, Edvestors is highlighting excellence in public education, acknowledging 3 remarkable Boston public schools, each forging a new path, rewriting their narrative and leading towards a better way. Today, we celebrate perseverance, innovation, and boundless opportunity in 3 communities setting a new standard of excellence. Hi, I'm Chris, a senior at Boston Art Academy, and I was an intern with the Edvestors Bloomberg Arts Initiative this past summer. Because of the lessons learned and shared through the School on the Move recognition, thousands of students in schools across Boston, just like me, each with their own dreams and aspirations to reach, will benefit in countless ways. In just a moment, you'll learn more about the finalists in this year's prize, and I know you're going to be impressed. Then later, the big reveal, the live announcement of this year's $100,000 prize winner. This is a special day, one that City of Boston, the Boston Public Schools, teachers, students, families, and our entire community can take pride in. Thank you for supporting our efforts to recognize progress and achievement. Now, please welcome, live from the WGBH studios in Brighton, our MC for today's program.
That was lovely. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Welcome. It's so nice to see all of you here in person at the GBH studios, lovely studios here in Brighton. And we want to say good morning and welcome to everybody joining us virtually today also. This is a really special day, the 16th annual Edvestors School on the Move Prize event. It's just a special day to be here. I'm Rhondella Richardson from WCVB News Center 5. It is wonderful to be back in person, and kudos to all of you who made it here, given the weather we have outside. It's just crazy weather for October, but we know that happens around these parts. And we also want to welcome the many more people that are able to join us on the live stream. The virtual technology is perfect for this day. Spanish translation and live captioning are available for those joining virtually, by the way. To turn on the live captioning, click on the live transcript at the bottom of the screen, then click Show Subtitles. You can access the event in Spanish by clicking Interpretation and at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and then clicking Spanish. And for the rest of you, just keep your eyes right here. For more than 20 years, I've been covering the news in Boston. And I have to say, it's really nice to be in a building during a nor'easter. I know you probably don't even recognize me because I would be in some slicker bungee corded to, the most sturdy light pole at the moment, but instead you have saved me and I am here with you, so for that I am forever grateful. But it's after 20 years of covering news that I've really seen all of the opportunities and the challenges facing the city's schools. And what has impacted and remained constant in all of this has been really the relentless commitment of a wide range of people and organizations to the city's young people. It's unbelievable. We see that on display today with all of you joining us here. I know you guys are very much stakeholders in what is happening, and kudos to you for what you do and continue to do. Across the city right now, about 10 of thousands of young people, they're just getting up, starting their day, looking forward to another day of learning and growing. And that's really what this day is all about, the young people in our city. You saw their faces up there on the screen as we were waiting. They are full of life and energy and hope. And I personally know the value of a high quality education. It was dedicated teachers and coaches. And you don't need a uniform or a title to be a coach or a mentor. And I think this audience, you all fall under the category of coach in some respect. But it's the teachers and the coaches that helped me succeed and eventually earn a spot at Northeastern University. It was a dream come true. And that's what this prize is really all about, making dreams come true for our school students. All of what this prize is really about is for schools excelling, giving those students the opportunity to see their dreams, and just to know it's even possible, I think, is so valuable. The schools being honored today are examples of what is possible in public education. Let me say that again. This is an example of what's possible in public education. They've each demonstrated continued growth and improvement over the last 5 years and worked tirelessly. We know what the last year and a half has been like for us. Imagine these little young people trying to learn. The 2021 School on the Move finalist schools are the Patrick J. Kennedy Elementary School in East Boston, the James Otis Elementary School in East Boston, and New Mission High School in Hyde Park. No matter who wins, I'll never drive by those schools and look at them the same way. I mean, you've just really ignited a fire in everybody who's participating in this process. Later in the program, one of these schools will be awarded $100,000. It's the School on the Move Prize. But before we make the big reveal, let's start by welcoming to the stage the President and CEO of Edvestors, Marinell Rousmaniere. Marinell Rousmaniere.
Thank you, Rhondella, for getting us started this morning. Welcome, everyone. It's just really such a special day and so wonderful to be in person with those of you who are here in the audience, in the studio. And it's wonderful to have the folks who are Zooming in from the office, maybe still home in their slippers, and from classrooms. So you'll get to see we have some classrooms joining us from the 3 schools and other places in the city. There's so many people in this live audience that I could recognize, but there are 2 that I want to especially call out, and that is School Committee Chairperson Jerry Robinson and School Committee Member Lorena Lupera, who are here today with us. And you'll get to hear from other distinguished guests as we move along, and the most distinguished of all, the representatives of the 3 schools this morning. I'm just really grateful for you all joining us today. For those of you who don't know, Edvestors' mission is to advance equitable, meaningful education that prepares every Boston student to activate their power and shape their future. Since 2002, we've raised and invested more than $36 million in Boston schools. We've led the expansion of arts education for more than a decade, and we continue to fund, scale, and promote proven school improvement strategies through our work in math education, racial equity, and career pathways. As we sit here today, we are in our 3rd school year affected by a once-in-a-generation pandemic. These years have been among the most difficult for all of us, but for our educators and our young people most especially. Confronting and mitigating this pandemic and its effects on Boston students, particularly those who are most impacted by the inequities in our society, has been Edvestors' top priority over the past 18 months, and it continues to guide our work each day. And there's much work ahead of us to ensure an equitable recovery for every Boston student. And that's really why we're here today, because we believe that by shining a light on the successes of these 3 schools and the other eligible schools as part of this process, that lifting up their stories and their strategies can really point to the way forward. Each finalist school has an improvement journey that's unique, but is linked by a commitment to working in partnership and to really sustaining the change that they are seeking. Even more, they have been nimble in their approach over the last year and a half in how they continue to advance student learning and to address the impacts of the pandemic on the young people and families that are associated with their schools. And it is in recognition of this tremendous work of all 3 of the schools over this past year and a half that I am pleased to share that just this morning, an anonymous donor has stepped forward to triple the prize money to the 2 finalist schools to $30,000. While only one school can take home the prize, you are truly all winners for the work you're doing every day and for the lessons that others can learn from you. So I'm excited. I already know these schools. I know some of you do too, but I'm really excited that each of you is going to get to learn more about them and the people behind them this morning. And so without further ado, here are the 2021 School on the Move finalists.
Welcome to the P.J. Kennedy School.
The PJK is special because it makes you to learn so much things.
We love the PJK!
I think it's really hard to pinpoint exactly what is special about the P.J. Kennedy School. It's just such a joyous, happy place for our children. It's a welcoming environment for our families, and we truly do every single thing we can to make sure that we are seeing our students, getting to know our students and families, and truly giving them the best possible academic experience that we can give. Most of our students live right here in this neighborhood. A lot of our students walk to school. 90% of our students are Hispanic. 84% speak a different language other than English. We pride ourselves in the way that we connect with our families. We think it is one of the most important things that we do in order to educate all of our students. And during the pandemic, that really was difficult. A few things that we did to make sure that we were able to connect with families: divide every single staff member in the building so that they all had the same group of about 10 to 12 families to connect with twice a week. We felt it was really important to make sure that two-way communication was as strong as possible. It was a really hard year. Making sure that you're teaching to standards, making sure that you're balancing wellness with kids and families and yourself and your own family was really difficult. So we had a check-in every week, and we were embarking on this professional development together. It was amazing. And it was 100% just voluntary, and everybody was all in, including our paraprofessionals, our office staff. Everybody joined in to make sure that they had what they needed to support our kids.
We're like a family here. We take care of one another, we take care of our families and our students, and we really grow to care for them.
It's a beautiful school out here. They take care of every single student here. Even if there's a student with problems, they look after them. This school is awesome.
This year especially, to be a finalist for the School on the Move Prize feels like all of the hard work that we've done throughout this pandemic has really paid off, and almost that we feel really seen here at the PJK. I feel so incredibly honored to be able to be the principal here, and I just know that every single staff member, we're all in. We're all in for our kids, and we do literally everything that we can to make sure that everyone gets what they need.
Welcome to the Otis.
The Otis is special because it's more than just a school. It's a community. And the Otis staff and students really built a united school and a loving school family.
We have the most outstanding students at the Otis School. They are a dynamic group of children that normally come with us in K1 and stay all the way to grade 5 and now grade 6.
Our students are predominantly from Central and South America. We have a growing number of Arabic-speaking families with 65% ELLs, and 86% of our students are considered high needs.
Our own goal at the Otis is that children really become vested students and that they learn to have a love for learning. That we truly believe that our families make a difference to the children's education here at the Otis. The partnership we have with our families enables our students to really become lifelong learners.
The Otis recognizes when students have a love and a passion, and they really celebrate it. They really think that they know their families and they know that it's important to stay in touch and that we're partners in the education.
So luckily for me, I don't believe that anybody can do this job alone. I have an amazing staff. Many of them have been with me since I was a teacher here at the Otis. I'm very proud of my staff. The pandemic came along, but yet they did an amazing job of coming together and supporting one another through the use of technology or lesson planning or whatever needed to be in place so that our students didn't miss a beat.
I like the Otis a lot because it's a really nice school and everybody here is nice. The Otis is special to me because it's like a whole family and it's a home away from home.
This is a huge honor for any school that gets nominated for School on the Move. As a finalist, we are just so excited to be amongst these three amazing schools. It actually emulates one of our school mottos, which is together we can make a difference.
The Otis is not just about math, reading, writing, spelling, and science. It's about shaping your life and changing the world the way you want it to be. The Otis is a place where everyone is welcome. The Otis is a place where everyone is appreciated. And the Otis is a place where you always leave love. That's why the Otis is special.
Welcome to New Mission High School.
I would describe New Mission as a place where you can grow as a person. Coming here, I was very shy and quiet, but as I've attended the school, I became more of like a person who steps outside of his shell.
I would describe New Mission to be a place that's not afraid to take risks.
New Mission is more than just a building. It's a community. 99% of our students are students of color. They come from all over the city, and they come together to create this great community here at New Mission. Our goal is to make sure that every single student is ready and prepared to go to college. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons of why New Mission is a successful school, but there's three main ones that I can really highlight. We have high expectations, high academic rigor. All our students are expected to complete at least one AP course. High support for our students to make them feel welcome, to make them feel special, to make them feel supported. And then we also have distributed leadership to make sure that teachers are incorporated in the decision-making processes. This is only my second year at New Mission, and I can't say it was because of me that we're nominated again. It's because of the staff. It's because of what the work that was done by the previous administration to show that even when the leader leaves and a new leader is put in, because of that distributed leadership, the work can continue without missing a beat.
They love the kids and they care about them mentally, spiritually, and physically, and they are such a great support. Last year during the pandemic, they provided a laptop for my daughter to do the schoolwork. They provided one-on-one help for my daughter to do the schoolwork, and they came to my house and dropped off stuff that she needed.
That's one thing that we talk about and stress to our staff, is like, we don't give up on any students. New Mission did not stop because of the pandemic. New Mission continued on, adapted to it, and then added to the program that we had. And that's one of the things that makes New Mission such a special place. To be a finalist on the School on the Move prize is a great honor in itself. It validates all the hard work that the staff have put in, what the students have put in, what the parents have put in as a team. Things that we thought weren't possible before, because of the pandemic, we've seen that it's possible. And so when people say you can't do certain things, you actually can. You gotta make it happen for the students because they deserve the best that we can give them.
That was amazing, huh? Well, it's very easy to see why these schools are an inspiration, a proud representation of our students in our city of Boston. And there have been many people who've been strong advocates for the students, but no one is more of a champion than the Boston mayor. And Mayor Kim Janey, she couldn't be with us this morning, but she did send greetings from City Hall, so take a look.
Hello everyone, I'm Kim Janey, Mayor of Boston. Edvestors has been an important partner to the Boston Public Schools, and I am so excited to be here with each of you to celebrate the 16th Annual School on the Move Prize and recognize 3 fantastic schools. Congratulations to New Mission High School in Hyde Park and both the James Otis Elementary School and the Patrick J. Kennedy Elementary School in East Boston. You are finalists for this year's prize because of your incredible work providing a rich education to Boston's young people. Schools across the city of Boston have shown their resilience throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Thanks to the dedication of our teachers and staff, as well as our vaccine distribution efforts, we have successfully reopened our school buildings to students. With a record-breaking first-day attendance, schools across Boston clearly are excited to get back into in-person learning. It is important that we continue to work together to support young people all across our city. Whether we are educators or students, families or community partners, or public officials or advocates, coming together to ensure a quality education for our children is key. As a longtime advocate for education equity and as mayor of our great city, I am proud of the work you have done and will continue to do. Congratulations again to each of the finalists, and many thanks to Edvestors for your long-standing partnership with BPS and for all you do to support students and families.
Many thanks. Thank you for bearing with us as we go through some of these technical difficulties. We are in the middle of a nor'easter after all. And we offer our thanks to Mayor Janey and for her reflections on this exciting day and for her many years of advocacy and support of the Boston young people. Speaking of young people, we want to get to them, right? We have some fun coming up. I know there are many students from each of the finalist schools. They're sitting there in their seats just waiting excitedly for the announcement. And because of amazing technology, when it works, well, we are able to connect. So we're going to first go to the James Otis Elementary School in East Boston to check in on the young scholars there. Do you guys remember sitting at the desks? Look at you guys. Good morning. Good morning. So glad you could all be with us. I know there's smiles behind those masks. Okay, do your work and we'll get right back to you. And next, we're going to go across town and we're going to check in with New Mission High School on our live stream. Hey, guys. Especially exciting day for New Mission, who, as you heard earlier in the video, was a past recipient of the School on the Move Prize and having won that recognition in 2012. Good morning, New Mission. Okay, you guys are back to work already. Okay, we're going to try to check in with the Patrick J. Kennedy School, but we're having a little difficulty earlier. But you heard the little girl there with her little ripped off piece of paper and her handwritten note. It was so touching to have her talk about how the school is family. And I think the schools have just become a safe house for everyone, especially as we were going through the pandemic. So many people were out of school, but I think Boston was all in for its students. Did the Patrick Kennedy? Okay, I'm going to move past them. Okay. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for some very proud school leaders in our audience this morning. And now we have an opportunity today to hear directly from them on the keys to success. A little learning hour. Here we go. Please join me in welcoming Bridget Terry Long, the Dean of the Harvard Graduate School of Education, to the stage. Dean Long is an economist who focuses on the transition from high school to higher education and beyond, and serves on the School on the Move Prize Selection Panel. And she will lead us through a brief discussion and conversation with the three finalist school leaders on how their schools became a school on the move and what it takes. We're going to learn from them as they give us some insight to how they made it through the pandemic. I'd like to welcome Dean Long.
Thank you, Rhondella, and good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to ask each one of the three terrific school leaders of our finalist schools to join me on stage now. Okay, starting at my far left, we have Kristen Gonzalez-Redden, who's the principal of the Patrick J. Kennedy Elementary School in East Boston. Kristen is in her 6th year at the PJK and has been working in BPS for 13 years. Next is Paula Sequeira Gonzalez, principal of the Otis Elementary School, also in East Boston. Paula served as a teacher at the Otis for 22 years and as the principal for the past 11. And then we have William Thomas, head of school at New Mission High School in Hyde Park. William is in his second year at New Mission. Prior to this, William was the head of school at Charlestown High School and has spent 22 years in the school district. Welcome and congratulations to all three of you again. So I'm going to start with a question to all of you. What is one lesson learned from teaching and learning during the pandemic that has benefited how you support your students and teachers? William, would you like to get us started?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. So I think one of the things that we learned was that during the pandemic, people were at their breaking point. They were just stressed out. Students were stressed out. Teachers were stressed out. Parents were stressed out. And some students were able to handle it very well. Some teachers were able to handle it very well. Staff were able to handle it very well. And there were some of us who weren't. And we just hit that breaking point. And so just recognizing that there is that breaking point and that we're all human. And then even after the pandemic, I think we were still feeling the residual effects of the pandemic now. For those who didn't meet their breaking points, they're very close to it. And so thinking about that, we really focus on our social emotional health for our students, giving each student a little bit of grace, giving staff a little bit of grace, giving each other a little bit of grace. As Dr. Cassellius always said last year in her emails, let everyone give everyone else a little bit of grace. And so we were intentional in setting up our schedule this year and having connections in the beginning of the school year, really checking in on students and their mental well-being, and then having advisory. And so making sure students are connected to one adult in the building. We made advisory and connection intentionally small. And so it's 12 students to one staff member. And we had a curriculum that teachers actually use to check in on students. I myself is also looking at our staffing to make sure that they're okay. I'm going around to the different staff, checking in to see what their needs are and asking them what their needs might be. And so it's really taking care of the staff, of the students, of the family, and the community. So that's one of the biggest lessons learned we got from the pandemic.
Thank you, Will. Paula, would you like to continue? One lesson learned from the pandemic.
Yeah, sure. Good morning, everyone. I think for the Otis, it was the importance of maintaining and growing relationships with our students and trying to keep a sense of normalcy with our students. That was the hardest piece that we kind of struggled with the pandemic. Our students really received what they needed. Our staff was amazing in making sure that they had the tools they needed to learn at home. They had their Chromebooks. They had real books in hand. They had packets and materials. And they had the sense of community. Our staff wanted to maintain that sense of normalcy with them. They reach out to them on a daily basis. The students who really got the opportunity to feel like just because they were on Zoom didn't mean that they didn't get the same level of education and academic rigor that they were getting in the classroom. And our teachers, for them, what they wanted was that same sense of normalcy. So they collaborated together. They really shared best practices with one another. And the most important thing I think they did is they took this opportunity of, on Thursday and Friday, leaving the Otis and having to figure out how we're going to do this remote learning at home with our students. And they really worked together to try to learn the technology and support one another through this difficult time. And I think they did an amazing job. And if you asked our students, they felt like even though it was remote learning, they still got the same level of independence that they got at school as well.
Thank you, Paula. Kristen.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I think there's a common theme here in our answers. Similarly, I think the most important thing that I learned as a school leader during this time in the pandemic is the power of relationships, and especially in times of crisis, making sure that you are, myself as a leader, but also our teachers, our families, everyone has a place to check in and to feel safe and nurtured. I've always been a school leader that prioritized relationships, but I think what was a little bit different last year was just that piece of constant crisis, what we were working through, right? And what we were seeing on the news and what was happening nationally was really hard to keep inside the entire time while also teaching. So, we set up some routines to really make sure that we were really intentionally checking in with students, and they've actually carried into our in-school practices. So we do a strong start every morning, the entire school. It's a purposeful, intentional place to build community, partner together, but also ground ourselves in mindfulness, really get ourselves ready to start the day, no matter what happened prior. Similarly, that's how we start our staff meetings. Every single Wednesday during the pandemic, we had a staff meeting. And truth be told, I thought that it was going to be, I thought staff weren't going to want to join every Wednesday, but everyone came on, everyone was all in, and able to, sometimes we did deep breathing together. Sometimes we sang and danced on Zoom together. But really just making sure that we had a place to check in and see each other, chat with each other before we dug into work. And similarly, we do an optimistic closure at the end of the day where we celebrate everything that we've done within that school day. We celebrate the wins that we've had. Not every day feels like a total win, but there is a small win in every day. And I think that really helped carry us through, especially when things just kind of felt like, we were meeting our breaking point, like Will said. It got pretty hard. So making sure that we were able to really check in, and my new phrase is students are people first. And our staff are people first. So we need to make sure that we check in as people first before we can get into the academics. And similarly, we did the same thing with families. We checked in with our families twice a week. And they answered every time, but making sure that when we called, it wasn't, oh, Johnny needs to complete X, Y, and Z. It was more, how are you doing? How can we help you? We know this is hard. What do you need? And then having community meetings with our families just to check in with each other and make sure that we're all getting through this together. I think that's something that helped us get through and actually helped enhance our learning experience during the pandemic.
Well, thank you. Thank you for all that you've done during an incredibly difficult time. Really want to recognize what your communities have done and how you've held them together. To follow on another question, William, what has been the most important lever in your school's success over the past several years, thinking beyond just the pandemic?
Yeah, I thought about this question quite a bit, just in thinking of taking over New Mission. As the video said, and as you said, this is my second year at New Mission, and here we are, a finalist on the School in the Move Prize, and in no way, shape, or form is it just because of me. It's because of the staff. It's the collaborative. The collaborative distributed leadership that we carry in our school, and because of that, the teachers and the staff, every single person in the building just feels so deeply about our students, because they feel a sense of ownership of what's happening in our building, and so building a culture. So the culture in our school is about collaboration. It's about sacrificing our own needs for our students, because at the end of the day, as Kristen said, it's about the kids, it's about the students, and we wholeheartedly as a community feel that way. And so giving the voice to the staff, to the teachers, to the support staff, to everyone in the building, and feeling like they have a hand in the decision making makes it a really successful community.
Absolutely, it's definitely a team effort. Kristen, if I could go to you next. What is one way we could replicate what's happening in your school and other schools in Boston?
That's a great question. I think one thing that we're particularly proud of at PJK most recently is the way that we've thought about creatively servicing our ESL students in the model that we created in the name of our students. And while that exact model I don't think can get replicated across BPS given populations and the amount of ELLs that we have in different schools, I think the process to how we went about approaching it is something that can be replicated. We spent years gathering data, researching policy, collaborating with the district, understanding guidelines, speaking with staff, listening to students, listening to families. So gathering so much information, and then taking the time to really creatively problem solve how we can make sure that we can enhance the learning experience for our students. And what came of that was a pilot model where we were able to actually increase the amount of teachers in the classrooms. So instead of pulling students out to do separated ESL services, we were able to do the ESL services in each classroom and benefit from co-teaching. So all students got an increased experience through an inclusive model with just the staff that we had in a typical year. We didn't have to add new staff. And through that process, we did learn that students' language was transferring much more smoothly and much more quickly. We actually FLEP'd, or designated formally limited English proficient students, 20% that year. So 20% of our students who were ELLs were then labeled as not needing ESL services. And I think that's something to really take away, is how can we look in schools to see, research our policies, understand our guidelines, but also think creatively, so we're not trying to fit students into policies, but have policies fit the space of the schools. So that way we're able to really, really meet needs for students, and really just enhance the learning experience for everyone, and enhance the collaborative relationships we have, with the state, with the district, and within our own schools.
Thank you, Kristen. So again, we're hearing about these incredible teams and dedication. And even though our schools might be different, just the process of how to meet students where they are. And Paula, you have the final question. What role did cross-school partnerships play in your ability to meet the needs of students and families during the pandemic and actually every year?
So we're very fortunate to have an amazing community in East Boston. And the first thing that actually comes to mind is our K-6, 7 to 12 pathways that we worked really hard as a community to make sure that our students really got an amazing experience in grade 6. So we all came together in East Boston, and we felt that it was equitable for all of us to go to grade 6, and that we would support one another and making sure that the students had an amazing experience. We partnered with East Boston High School, and we spent some time really sharing best practices, hearing from East Boston High School, hearing from one another, and figuring out how to make that pathway a seamless pathway. Our 6th graders, our current 7th graders at East Boston High School right now, and I checked on them in September, and they are doing amazingly well. They are so happy to be there and to be in the community. And those are the students that actually had a difficult time through the pandemic and are being so successful now at East Boston High School. In East Boston, we're also very fortunate that I have amazing colleagues that have shared their resources with us at the Otis. So the principal at the Bradley, the principal at the Kennedy actually got some resources from Hestia, and we were able to get some professional development for our teachers from Boston College. And we were also able to provide our teachers during the pandemic with some professional development from Attuned, so that they would learn how to pivot to remote learning. We have had the opportunity to continue that virtual experience with East Boston High School and their partnership that they had with Boston College and Boston and BU, and allowing our students to take some engineering classes with their AP biology students. So the partnerships have really been strong here in East Boston and in Region 1.
Thank you so much. I wish we had more time to hear from these outstanding leaders and about their entire communities and teams and what they were capable of doing, but unfortunately we need to move on. I want to say thank you again, and thank you so much for everything you do for our Boston students.
William, Kristen, Paula, some great stories there. I'll need your contact information later so we can put that on Channel 5 News. Really good takeaways. The way I particularly love the way you said we would reach out to the families and ask them what they need. You're not just here to tell them what assignments are due. It's just very heartwarming and wonderful. Thank you for sharing those lessons learned and the wisdom. Gosh, I know we want to know who's the School on the Move prize winner, right? We're getting there. We're getting a little bit closer. But it would not be an Edvestor event without another key person coming forward. I'd like to welcome Yvonne Garcia, the CEO of State Street, to share with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Rhondella, and thank you for the promotion. I will be sure to tell Ron O'Hanley that I am now the CEO of State Street. You know, I'm his chief of staff, but it's kind of like being the CEO, really. I do all the work. That's what it really means.
There you go.
So it's really lonely up here, and not because it's a virtual hybrid event, but because we're missing a key member of the team. Keith was not able to join us today because of the nor'easter. And everyone knows that it's just not the same without Keith. But I'm going to do my best to channel Keith energy here. So how y'all doing? Oh, he would be so disappointed. And you know what? I know people have places to go, but I'm going to be here all morning until I get some Keith energy in this room. One more time. How y'all doing? You know, I think we just need to get the kids back on the screen because I think they'll do a better job. So my name's Yvonne Garcia, and I'm really honored to serve on the panel again for such an important organization and such an important initiative. You know, at the end of the day, what we're really doing is investing in our future, right? The future leaders of this country. And now more than ever, boy, do we need what these young children represent, right? Integrity, character, perseverance. I mean, when you hear the stories of all of the 3 schools today and how these kids were able to navigate through a pandemic, as an adult it was hard enough, but imagine these children, the mindset that they had, the notion of never giving up and finding new ways of learning, right? And kudos to the parents and the teachers for the investment that you made in them and everything you did to help them get through this. So I will say that there are a lot of amazing organizations doing great things in the city for the students, but Edvestor truly stands out. It has been an honor to be part of the panel. I am really privileged also to serve with fellow panelists that have come year in and year out to be here. Some who are in the room, I'd love them to stand and be recognized. Others are virtual, so feel free to stand in your living room. But may I ask my fellow panelists to stand and be recognized for the amazing work that you've done. So you'll hear Keith say often that Edvestors can't do this work alone. You know, we all need to be engaged. They need our support, financial and other types of investment. And you know, he always reinforces how important it is to invest in our future. So I'd like to take a moment and do what's needed to support this very important work. All of you in the audience here and people joining virtually, you can pull out your mobile and use the QR code from the program insert, or those who are watching online in the link where it says donate. So for those of you who watch this program later on, look for the link on the Edvestors social media post or visit its website, which is www.edvestors.org. So everyone, please, if Keith was here, he said we're not going home until everyone pulls their phone out and contributes to this very important initiative. And in case you need more convincing, and I know this may not be the year to you know, with all the hoopla, but I will say that there is a donation of $250 or more, your name will be entered to win a raffle for next year at a night at Fenway Park in a luxury box for 22 people. And this was generously donated to us by our friends at Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. And you really don't want to miss this opportunity. I know this year, you know, it wasn't as exciting of an opportunity, but I know that they're going to come back next year. One thing that we have in Boston is faith, and we know that our team's going to come back. So what a great opportunity to bring 22 of your closest friends to this amazing opportunity. So please, please take advantage of that offer. You know, if the pandemic didn't teach us anything else, it really taught us the importance of looking out for each other, right? And for members of our community, being there, supporting in any way possible. And today, the 3 leaders of the schools talked a lot about how They were there not only for their students, but if you heard some of them in some of the videos, they said they were there for the parents, the community, and they did this all together. This is no different, right? So in times like this, we must remain connected to one another and to our community. So what better time than now to come together and support the work of helping students who need it most. I am really honored to be part of this. I can't think of a better time to be a leader in this community who will invest in our students, which really are the future leaders of this country. So thank you very much for this opportunity to be here with you and to be part of such an important thing. And I would now like to turn it back to Marinell.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. We're so fortunate to have you as part of this work and to be such an eloquent spokesperson for why it's important, as well as why it's important to be connected to each other at this time. We're just grateful for all of you that you do in this city, including supporting our work. It takes a lot of people and a lot of connections to make this work happen. Not only the support to Edvestors, but the support to all 50,000 BPS students. Earlier this year, we lost one of BPS's biggest supporters and contributors who distinguished himself through his thoughtful actions as a true advocate for all students. Dr. Tom Payzant was superintendent of the Boston Public Schools for 11 years and led the district through a time of great change and progress. He was an educator to his core and approached everything he did from a place of genuine love for students. He truly made an indelible mark on the Boston Public Schools. He retired from BPS in 2006, the same year this prize was launched. Back then, Edvestors was a young organization forging our path and was truly humbled that Tom lent his name to be associated with this prize. It seemed a very fitting moment to reflect on his life and legacy and its contributions to Boston. And so we chose to honor him today by showcasing the talents and gifts of a BPS student, of course. And so in her words, yup, it's Roxbury. Kaylany Vicente, a 10th grader at the John D. O'Brien School of Math and Science, shares her pride in the neighborhood she calls home.
Roxbury. Whenever I hear this, I think, yup, that's me. Where do you live? Roxbury. What? You heard me. I said Roxbury. Where do you go to school? Roxbury. Gotta love it, Roxbury. Girl, I got a story to tell you. You know where the story took place? Where? At Roxbury. The adventures here are like no other. Like, really. Yo, where's that cool girl Flyboy from, you know? Yup, Roxbury, obviously. Where else? Man, I'm hungry. You're hungry? No problem, I got you. Let's go to AK's and grab a slice up in Roxbury. Roxbury, man. Don't get me started. Everyone wants to come to Roxbury. But no city can be like you, Roxbury. I'm not capping. No city can be as real as you. Slap you in the face, but hug you at the same time. Roxbury, man. Roxbury, listen. No matter how much you change, no worries. There won't be any hard feelings. I'll still love you. Jeez, you're making me soft. Don't worry, I'm not gonna cry. Because I'm Roxbury strong. But anyways, I'll still love you. Roxbury. A small little giant city.
I love it when they speak from the heart, our young people. Thank you so much, Kaylany. That was powerful. I know we're getting excited. We're just dragging this on to build the excitement here. We are getting close to the big reveal, but it's important to recognize so many people who make this day possible. Chief among them are our supporters and our sponsors. We've had the names up on the screen earlier, and including our lead sponsor, Kathy and Jim Stone. Jim has served as chair of the prize selection panel since the early days. So please welcome Jim Stone, and please, we are so grateful for all of our sponsors for this event. Jim.
Thanks, Rhondella. It's wonderful that you could be with us today. Yes, I've served on the School on the Move panel since the very beginning, and have had the privilege of serving as the selection panel chairman for almost all of those years. My wife Kathy and I are proud to have such a long association with this prize and to be its lead sponsor. Let me tell you why we're so committed to it in a very few words. It almost goes without saying that a successful and prosperous democracy depends on a strong public school system. The media, in its role as guardian, seldom fails to tell us when something goes wrong in that system. The prize gives us all an opportunity to see the other side of the coin. What happens when things work well in the school system? It gives us a chance to acknowledge the teachers and the principals who've worked so hard to create these successes on behalf of the kids we all care about. And on top of that, when we focus on schools on the move and their successes, we provide the whole education community with good models and techniques that other schools can borrow. It has all of those purposes. So every year we begin our consideration with quite a list of schools that have improved objectively and impressively. So our panel meets, we talk, we narrow the list to the top 3 contenders. You've heard from them. That's not an easy task, and it's even harder to select a single winner. This year, it was an extra hard task because our visits to the 3 finalist schools had to be virtual. We took special account this year in choosing a winner on how the schools handled their journeys of improvement after having pivot to remote and hybrid learning. That made it different from most of the other years. You'll hear more about their outstanding work in the next part of the program, and you'll also hear very soon, you can almost hold your breath now, who the winner is. I'm not allowed to tell you. Let me say at this time only that all 3 of the finalists are absolutely worthy of your attention and at the right moment, your applause. So thank you.
In Boston, nearly 75% of children attend a Boston public school. That's well over 50,000 young scholars attending 125 different schools across the city. When the prize selection panel begins its work, it is looking for schools taking actions that make them stand out from the pack. They're on the move. Here's how the process works. First, Edvestors dives deep into the data to identify schools that have made significant leaps on standardized assessments over a 4-year period. Only 10% of schools meet this bar, but tests aren't everything. Next, schools have a chance to describe their school communities and their transformation in their own words, outlining important changes like teacher collaboration, student support systems, and more. Then, applications are reviewed by the School on the Move Selection Panel, an all-star team of Boston education, philanthropy, and business leaders. The panel looks for schools that not only demonstrate their own improvement, but also have relevant learnings to share with others. After narrowing down the many impressive entries to just 3 finalists over the summer, panelists visit each finalist school. After a day of classroom observations and conversations with school leaders, teachers, and even students, the panel has a difficult decision ahead of them. Finally, a winner is announced. The School on the Move prize comes with a $100,000 award from Edvestors and the opportunity to document and share best practices. The winning school serves as a model and thought leader, inspiring other educators around the city, state, and nation.
When you think of what it takes to bring real change to a school, to make it a school on the move, what do you look for?
Well, first I want to thank Edvestors and Jim and Kathy Stone and all the many funders for supporting this prize for so many years. And it was just an honor to see Tom Payzant on there as the leader, and I had a great opportunity to meet him back in 2004. And so really happy that this award is recognizing, like Jim said, where the bright spots are in the organization. I'm humbled to be among these three incredible leaders and all of the central office staff that's here that supports them every day. I think what it takes to be a school on the prize is exactly what you heard each of these leaders saying, and that is a relentless focus around equity and around a student-centered focus and a support of the teachers in their school to ensure that they have what they need so that students get what they need.
It's really important, and Tom Payzant was a real good leader. I interviewed him many times. You guys were so innovative during the pandemic with the Zooms and the sharing. What did you see in Boston schools during remote and hybrid learning that you think is important to carry forward?
I think what people would be surprised is that you see what you always see in an excellent school. And as commissioner, I was able to go and see hundreds of schools across Minnesota, and I've been able to be in every single school building in Boston Public Schools. And what I see are 5 really key things, and you heard every single one of these school leaders say that that's what they do in their practice, and that is to establish strong relationships with students first, establish strong relationships with parents and community, and that school leaders have strong school leadership around building a strong culture in the school building of high expectations, caring and competent teachers who just get it done for kids and get them what they need. They do not give up on kids, and they do not let them fail. If you have those key components, caring, competent teachers, incredible school leaders, and strong family relationships, you'll have a school on the move.
Those are words to live by. Thank you again, Superintendent Cassellius, for being with us today. Stay with us right here on stage. This is so exciting. It's like nerve-wracking. Okay, please stay with us because we're going to invite Marinell and Jim Stone. Come on, everybody back up here to the stage to help us announce this year's winner of the School on the Move prize. Anybody ready? You guys ready? You guys ready? Okay. The 2021 Edvestors School on the Move prize winner is, I'm going to have you guys hold that. You hold that. I'm going to keep the glasses because we don't want to get this one wrong. Yeah, really? Okay. Woo-hoo! Okay. Drum roll, please. And the winner is the James Otis Elementary School! Oh my gosh, congratulations, congratulations.
And there's the kiddos.
And they are celebrating with us live. Congratulations. Oh, those students are not the only ones celebrating. The whole city should celebrate. There's so many takeaways from what you guys have done.
Oh, I didn't even have to guess.
It's such a good moment.
Such an amazing school.
Congratulations to James Otis Elementary School.
Just want to say congratulations on winning the 16th annual Edvestors School on the Move prize. We are so proud of you. Thank you for all that you do for our students, our teachers, our families, and our school community. Thank you.
Shout out to all the educators and those who invest in education. And congratulations to the 2021 School on the Move prize winner.
Congratulations to this year's School on the Move prize winner.
Hi everyone, I'm Ed Harder.
And I'm Maria Stefanos. We wanted to add our congratulations to this year's School on the Move prize winner.
All the best from all of us right here at News Center 5.
Congratulations to the 2021 School on the Move prize winner, and thank you for all you do for Boston's children.
Congratulations!
Congratulations to the 2021 School on the Move prize winner. Congratulations as well to all of the nominees.
the impact that you are having is truly inspiring.
On behalf of the entire Winship the community, so we celebrate and honor the heart, the hard work, and the teamwork that has contributed to this amazing accomplishment. So way to go, and congratulations to your entire school community.
Congratulations to the 2021 School on the Move winner. What a special honor and recognition of your impactful work during these challenging and unprecedented times.
Congratulations on winning this incredible award. It really is a recognition of the hard work of the staff, the faculty, the students, the parents. We are just so proud of you and grateful for what you do for our community. Congrats again.
Congratulations to all of this year's finalists, but especially the 2021 School on the Move prize winner on behalf of State Street and from me as well. We're so excited to see what all of you do next.
On behalf of Edvestors staff, congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. For those who know me, this is like my worst nightmare. I just want you to know that. Okay, so I had to write it down because I'm just so humbled. Thank you to Edvestors and the distinguished panel for this honor. I am overwhelmed with emotion, as you can tell, and humbled that the James Otis is the 2021 recipient of the prestigious Edvestors School on the Move Award. To be standing here amongst the incredible schools, Patrick Kennedy and New Mission High School, led by my respected colleagues, Kristen Gonzalez-Redding, she just got married, and Will Thomas, is truly an honor. We all know too well about the commitments and demands of this work, and it is no small feat to be standing here today. So congratulations to my colleagues for a job well done. I can recall my initial BPS interview 33 years ago with my dear mentor, friend, and Otis head of school, Joseph Ippolito, who passed away just a few years ago. He asked me just one single question during my interview for a kindergarten position at the Otis. Tell me about your family. Not sure I remember the exact words I said, but I do know that at the core of my response was that family has and always will be the most important thing in my life. Thank you to my family who helped me get to where I am today. At the James Otis, it is all about families and working with them on how they can support their child on the road to success. One of my favorite conversations I have had with families is about storytelling. It may be that families are hesitant to discuss reading or math scores, or math lessons or reading lessons, but everyone can tell a story. A story matters. Our stories matter. Families matter. When families feel that what they have to contribute to their child's education matters, then a true partnership is formed between home and school. We have the very best, hardest working students because we have the most amazing families working alongside us at the Otis School. There are so many people to thank for this honor. My incredible staff who helped write the School on the Move application. A leader is only as good as their team, and I am grateful for the incredible staff who work alongside me to collaborate, implement, and execute one goal: our students and our families. Thank you for walking beside me and our children. You do it tirelessly, and you do it all so well. You are an example of what true collaboration is. Our school motto is driven by all of you. Together we can make a difference. A special thank you to our grant writers and lead teachers, Ms. Highland and Ms. Trainer, who are here today, and Ms. Pagano, who is back at the Otis, making sure that our students get to see this. The rest of my leadership team, Ms. Mara, our amazing and very hardworking CFC, Ms. Amanda, our outstanding and compassionate nurse, and my entire leadership team for their hard work. I thank you. To the incredible and supportive Region 1, many of whose principals are here. It's led by our outstanding instructional superintendent, Dr. Tommy Welch, with not only one, but 2 schools who are recognized today on the School on the Move. Thank you, Dr. Welch, for embodying what leadership is, for supporting our passion, for trusting in us, and for always being there, no matter what, for all of your principals. We are so fortunate to have you with us and to have you lead us. Within Region 1, I had the pleasure of being a mentor to 2 incredible principals, Joanna Cruz, the amazing principal of the Adams, and Kristen Gonzalez Redding, who is also being recognized here today. We learned from each other, and in so many ways, they became my mentors too. Thank you to the head of school, Phil Brattaforte, who I talk to daily about our students and the new K-6, 7 to 12 pathway in East Boston. The time we put in was well worth it. The students, the Otis students, could not be happier at East Boston High School. Couldn't be here today, but thank you to Jordan Weimer, the amazing McKay principal, and to Michelle Davis, who is here, the dedicated Warren Prescott principal, for being examples of what strong leadership is, and for your friendship, and most importantly, for your endless support of me. The Otis is so fortunate to have an amazing list of partners that have supported us. They are also deserving of this award, as it could not have been done without your support and your commitment to the Otis students and families. Many of our initiatives could not have come to fruition without your support. A well-stocked food pantry, staff professional development, and student supports, just to name a few. I want to thank the Shaw Foundation, Boston School Funds, Edvestors, Boston College, City Year, Boston Cares, the YMCA in East Boston, Lesley University, and Emmanuel College. We are so grateful for your partnership. And thank you to Dr. Cassellius, our BPS superintendent. As hard as it was for principals to lead in the pandemic, your leadership during the unprecedented time continues to be remarkable. I'm so, so proud to work for BPS and to serve the students and our families. And finally, to Edvestors, thank you again for recognizing the work of the James Otis School. It is my life's work, first as a BPS teacher at the Otis, then as always the very proud principal, and now as the recipient of the 2021 School on the Move Prize. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, look at the teddy bear on the desk. That's just beautiful. Congratulations, Paul. Congratulations, Otis students. Party at the Otis later? Oh my gosh. Wonderful stories here, teacher to principal to advocate. You know, as a journalist, I so often get a glimpse of the worst that humanity has to offer. And it's true joy to see some of the best and some of the best work going on in the city, going on with our schools, thanks to the staff and the supporters. Thank you, Edvestors. Thank you, Jim Stone. Thank you, Marinell. Thank you for coming out in a nor'easter and bringing it for the kids and being here. And I didn't even have to say, please come to the front of the classroom. Everybody just did what they needed to do. I know you do that every single day. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure for me to MC. There is breakfast that you can carry away out in the lobby on your way out so you can continue to nourish yourselves and bring all of that enlightenment and nourishment to the Boston Public Schools. One more year. Let's do it again next year, okay? Congratulations to the Otis and all 3 finalists. You're all amazing, amazing. It was a fun thing to be participating in. Have a great rest of your day. Please drive safely.